everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a very different video, different than anything I've ever made before. Typically you come to my channel and you'll see advice on makeup and skincare and things like that. But today I want to share a different part of myself. And I believe that we are multidimensional beings. We're not just one thing basically. And I know for myself, I'm not. There are times where I believe that we have to step outside our comfort zone, especially when we feel our heart is being drawn towards it. So if that doesn't interest you and you want makeup and beauty, continue rocking on. Go ahead and watch my other videos. But if for some reason the title of this video caught your attention, I urge you to stick around and see if there's a reason why that's the case. So with that being said, let's get into that. Nowadays, it just seems like you can't even escape the news, social media. Anywhere you go, you hear it on the tips of everyone's tongue. You hear chaos. You hear fear. You hear hopelessness is a big one that you hear. And it's all because people see things happening. You see tragedy and you think, oh my gosh, the world's going to shit. But it's actually quite the opposite. When you see things that are occurring, when you see tragedy unfolding over and over and over again, weeks apart, days apart, months apart, what you're seeing is rapid change. Rapid change. And there's no growth that can ever happen without a little bit of pain, a little bit of uncomfortability. See, I believe that we are all on journeys, moving along through life, just kind of moving. And life is kind of like that, up and down, up and down. And as individuals, we're evolving, we're expanding, we're growing. I also believe that while we are having that personal experience with life, we are all experiencing life together as a generation, as people, as cultures, and as human beings, basically. And we experience this all together, simultaneously as we're experiencing it individually. And I think that a lot of us are caught up in our own worlds of individuality, like, I have to figure out my own life. I don't have time to figure out somebody else. And in one respect, you don't have to. You really don't have to. But right now, when you take in everything that's happening, and you take it in as hopelessness or fear, it's really defeating the purpose of what this moment in time means for all of us as a collective. I felt this moment of clarity that I had after the Orlando shooting. When I saw those lives, so many lives. And I as like a Latina woman, I as a bisexual woman, felt it really strongly. And then I had this moment that I realized that their lives were not in vain. Their lives were not in vain. When I saw how much people gathered around each other and embraced each other, and all this love and a compassion started emitting from everyone, it created solidarity. And then after that, we started seeing attack after attack after attack, which is being categorized as terror, which I actually think that it's appropriate. It's terror, because terror invokes fear. And fear will move you or it will paralyze you. It's like the flight or fight response. And so when you take in fear, you're allowing it to paralyze you. That's what it is. But when you take in fear and you see it from a different perspective and allow it to move you, now it's creating positive change. And when I realized that the people from the Orlando shooting were souls that sacrificed themselves. And I know that concept, that idea may seem like really out there, but in my world, I believe that those spirits, those individuals, those souls came to this planet to sacrifice themselves to awaken everybody, to bring attention, to bring awareness, to the fact that we need to be a more loving and compassionate society, planet, people. To open ourselves to that instead of drowning in our own sorrows. It kind of has busted us out and it put us uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable right now because we look around and we're feeling like, what do I do? What can I do? First of all, the fact that the question is being asked, what can I do, is awesome. That's wonderful. It makes sure that the lives that have been lost or sacrificed, as I like to put it, is not in vain. Not one. When we ask the question, what can I do? So I want to offer a suggestion, an idea, that if you want to do something, stop taking this situation, this life, this time in the world as fearful time. Because it's just energy. Any emotion is energy. And you can transform that. And you can transform that through your love and compassion. Because there's really only two emotions in this world. And that's love and fear. Everything else stems from those two emotions. And actually they're the opposite of each other. Fear and love. So if you're presented with fear like we are at this very time in our world, in our history, then the one thing you can do is the exact opposite. And that is to be more compassionate, more loving. And that's how you transform the energy of fear. That's how you transform the energy of hate. Because right now, that is exactly what's being spewed. It's like this hate. Remember, hate comes from fear because there's only two emotions. And it's not coming from love, so it must be fear. And that's why I'm making this video right now, because to me, I look around and I'm like, it takes balls to be a terrorist. It takes balls to throw fear in somebody's face. And I feel that we have to be equally ballsy, equally brave to step out of our comfort zone, and fearlessly say, I will be loving. I will be compassionate. I will move in the direction of love and not fear. And I feel that that is exactly what we're being called to do. And I see it happening unconsciously. I think that people don't realize that when we have these marches, when we have people speaking and using their voices, we're moving towards love. And sometimes it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look very organized, or it doesn't look very put together, but it doesn't have to be. We are in a moment in history where we are being awakened. We are being called to change. And people are cropping up everywhere answering that call to be the light. Because just like there's love and fear, there's light and darkness. That's it. That's all there really is. And so when there is darkness present, it's asking for the light to be shown. It's asking for the light to be illuminated. And each and every one of us has that in us. Like it has fear, it has love, it has light. And there is darkness. But where will you be? When you move in the emotion of fear, you're moving to the direction of darkness. And when you move in the direction of love, you're moving in the direction of light. So I challenge you, as I've challenged myself to just be here and speak so openly, so frank about something that honestly, I probably in many people's eyes have no right or place to be speaking on. But I know that whatever I have to say is coming from light, from love. And I hope that it touches someone out there, it touches lives out there, that motivates and inspires you to be the light, to be love, to be compassion, to be what we need to be right now, to hold that space for the world at large. And we do that one person at a time. You do that by yourself. You do that by sharing with others. There's always something to be done. And if you move in the direction of love, that means you're being a light. And so for those of you who are going to accept that challenge, as I've accepted it for myself, let's be equally ballsy. Let's be equally brave as that brazen fear is being spewed at us. Let's shine light through love and compassion. Be the light.